going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
Oscar BEVIS, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by BEVIS. Skye Nicolson joins me. How are you, darling? Good to see you as always.
Good to see you as always, Oscar. How are you?
I'm good. Well, actually, I'm not. I'm heartbroken, but we don't need to talk about the football. Let's talk about the book. Yeah, we're here to talk about boxing on a boxing channel, so we'll stick to that for now. Ebanie Bridges against Shannon O'Connell, all Australian derby over here. And you know what? It proved to be the fight people thought we would be. They both come forward, and it was entertaining.
Very entertaining fight. We knew it was going to be a war. I'm so happy for Ebanie. She works so hard. She doesn't get the recognition she deserves in Australia, and I hope that this performance gets her the respect that she deserves in the boxing Australia circuit.
Obviously, she has done things her own way. Shannon kind of perhaps hasn't taken to the way she's done things. But kind of away from that, is it about time that people put respect on the fact that she's made sacrifices like any other boxer has? Yes, she's perhaps used certain things to her advantage to get herself where she is, but it's not like she can't fight. She can. She proved that again tonight, and perhaps that's something people need to remember aside from all the other stuff she does to sell herself.
Yeah, 100%. I couldn't agree more. I think what Ebanie does outside the ring, but she's proving herself in the ring. She's getting better every performance. She's beating girls that are much more experienced than her, and she's proving why she's a world champion, and you can never take that away from her.
You know, I was surprised about, obviously, I don't know the Australian circuit in and out, but I can't imagine it's too big. When they were going back and forth for the press conference, and then I found out they'd never actually met each other, and yet there seemed to be this kind of like mutual dislike.
Australia's a really big place. It's very spread out. So the boxing community's not huge, but everyone's everywhere. Like, everyone's plane flights away. They're from different states. So it's not that unusual that they haven't met. Ebanie hasn't actually been in boxing that long, and she has spent probably more of her boxing over in the UK and the US now than she has back in Australia. So Shannon seems to have these rivalries with all of her opponents. She falls out with them. She dislikes them. There's genuine hate in her fights. So it was no different for this one, whether she'd met Ebanie or not. But no, I'm really happy for Ebanie. I think she had an amazing performance. And again, like I said, she showed why she's a world champion. I'm very proud of her.
Well, if two Aussies weren't enough, they had to get a third involved. Can we talk about your involvement in this fight? Unexpectedly, I did not know this happened, but she didn't take a liking to you being one of Ebanie's fans tonight, did she?
Yeah, I feel like Shannon just takes things very personally. I was cheering for my friend who supports my boxing career. I support her in her boxing career, and I was clapping for my friend when they were announcing the decision. And while she's standing in the middle of the ring, she flipped the bird and said, "Fuck you, slut." Rude.
Nice and tame then, nice and low key, nothing major.
Yeah, a little bit personal, but okay.
So yeah, but there you go. Well, at the end of the day, Ebanie's the one who walks away with the belts, and yeah, that's a great win for her, of course. And there's good fights to be made. The Shannon Courtney one kind of will always be pushed because as much as we like a fight in the ring, not just the media like us, people do like to see people bitch about each other, and them two probably will do it again. Yeah. So, but that's again a fight people, I suppose, will demand.
Yeah, definitely. I think Nina Hughes is definitely in the mix now as well, winning the WBA title. So there's big fights to be made, and all like UK fights as well, which is really exciting for UK boxing, for British boxing. And yeah, I'm excited for that. I'd love to see maybe Shannon Courtney versus Nina Hughes, and then the winner fight Ebanie.
Yeah, that'd be really good. Now on to more important matters. When are you fighting?
It's looking like February, back in the US. Hopefully for a title. We're looking at potentially the WBC silver. So yeah, getting closer to that world title fight. We've put out some offers to some potential opponents. So we're waiting to hear back on who I'll be fighting, but it's looking like February in the US. That's all I can really give you right now, but I'm looking for a statement win. I'm looking to get a good name on my resume and look to get one step closer to that world title fight.
How do you assess this year? Because it feels like only yesterday, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but we was in San Diego. been a mad year, but I suppose when you're turning over with the pedigree you have, it was always going to be a year where there's going to be a lot of expectation, and now you're talking about big title fights next year. But for your first year as a professional, how do you kind of assess how it's all gone?
It's been amazing. Honestly, I was really skeptical about even turning professional.
Why was that?
I was so ingrained in the amateur system that I never really looked past the Olympics. It was always, that was my goal and my focus. So to just kind of change paths and try something new, I was nervous about it. I didn't even know if I would like it, but it's honestly been the best year of my life. I've had so much fun. 5 fights, boxed in the US twice, the UK twice, back home in Australia, and I'm really, really excited for 2023. I think it's going to be probably the best year of my life, and I can't wait.
I can't wait for it as well. One more thing. I know you're not the mouthiest of people when it comes to interviews, but I suppose...
swore on this interview. It was...
No, that was someone swearing at you.
Yeah, I was quoting someone else, but the words just came out of my mouth, and I feel a bit embarrassed about doing it on this interview.
It's IFL TV, anything goes here. But I know that obviously when you're in that kind of title contention, world title contention next year, like I said, I know you're not one of them people to scream and shout abuse at people, and I kind of know that won't happen, but... are you going to be one of them who kind of is vocal? Because I suppose when it gets to that level and there's a lot more on the line, people kind of do come out their shell more and do kind of, you know what I'm saying? But I just can't picture that from you, is what I'm trying to say.
I never hate anyone that I'm fighting. I'm there to win. It's never personal. But I think if there's future opponents out there that make it personal, it could be personal. I don't feel like it's something that will emotionally affect me. But I'll probably just do my talking in the ring.
Yeah. Can't wait, Skye. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
I'm going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife and saying completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.